Good evening and welcome to today's live session on virtual communication. So today, the whole purpose of me doing this live is to help you master virtual communication and address the common challenges as well as best practice when it comes to virtual communication, as well as going through how to conduct yourself while you are on work communicating with people virtually. Virtual communication has become a reality today, and it's something we can't avoid. Um, Most workplaces are either hybrid or completely virtual, so it's important that we learn some of the tips and tricks which I'll cover today, which will help you as you navigate the online space. So, number one, the first thing I want to talk about is the challenges of virtual communication. First one is misunderstanding, because in most instances, most people don't even have their cameras on, so you can't really read people's nonverbal communication. And secondly, um, it's easy to feel isolated because if you're working from home or you're not really in an environment where you are with your colleagues all the time. As a result, you may feel disconnected from them and isolated. Thirdly, you may face technical issues like things like poor connectivity. And as we know, we live in South Africa. Sometimes we have load reduction or load shedding. Um, or other issues which may impede your ability to connect. And thirdly, it reduces any form of informal interactions, because if you're working from home, you don't really have much interaction with the people that you work with, and it takes away that spontaneous casual communication that would have at the water cooler, so to speak. And it can also impact team dynamics, because you could find that because you're on your own, yes, you can always contact your team online. It could lower morale and as well as weaken the team spirit unless you are intentional about meeting with your team and make sure that you do. Secondly, some of the best practices and things you can implement in order to make virtual meetings and communications more efficient. If you're having a virtual meeting, make sure that there's a clear agenda that's been sent out to everyone ahead of time, so everyone comes prepared and knows exactly what it is that's going to be covered. You can also, at the beginning of the meeting, just encourage everyone to participate and ask questions. And also, you could use things like polls and breakaway rooms to ensure that everyone is fully engaged. It's also important to have follow-up actions where you would create a list after the meeting or after the interaction where everybody knows what is expected of them and what was discussed. And also, I'd like to thirdly discuss how to conduct yourself in virtual meetings. First of all, have a professional appearance. I know, especially if you're at home, it's easy just to either be in your pajamas or in a track pants and tracksuit. But if it is a meeting, try to at least put on something casual or smart, so that you look half decent. Also, it's important to ensure that you communicate effectively, speak clearly, because obviously people are not in front of you. So if you mumble, nobody will hear what you're saying. Try and stay on topic and not digress, but also use active listening, which I discussed, I think, in the first live. You can go back to that video on how to practice active listening. I'm not going to repeat it here. And then lastly, engagement and respect. It's important that as you're participating online, you do participate actively, and you respect other people. So opinions as well as the person who is speaking. Give them the time to say what they need to say and voice their views. And I would actually even add, if possible, have your camera on, because when your camera is off, people can't see you. Yes, they can hear you, but it becomes very difficult to interact with just an avatar. Yeah, so that's it for this session. So basically, what we covered today, I spoke about virtual communication, and which is basically an exchange of information via digital means such as video conferencing, messaging, instant messaging, as well as email. And it's important that we avoid the common pitfalls, which especially with regard to nonverbal communication, because it's often hard to read facial expressions, gestures, and the posture of a person when they are online. And lastly, active participation. Make sure that you fully participate by contributing to what is being discussed. Ask questions when you need clarity and listen attentively. Yeah, so that's it for today, and I thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video, and I look forward to you joining me not tomorrow but next week when we'll be discussing cultural differences.